Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about Zartan from Hiya Toys in the 4-inch scale. And these figures are very similar and maybe too similar to classified versions, but this one, Zartan, I mean, definitely a big hitter character in the 4-inch scale, and it looks pretty good. I did get this at Hiya Toys. I got this Hiya Toys figure at Gundam It, and it was $31. It is a high price for these figures, but actually it's a little cheaper than some of the other offerings that they've had out there. Not a ton of accessories, just the necessities, and I think that's why they're keeping it at a 31 price point. The very few places in the world you can buy this. Is not available in the US anywhere, and so you have to import it from Gundam It. But we are going to get into this. We'll have a link down below where you can get this, and TH and support your reviewer code if you plan on picking one of these up. It's the only one in stock, the only character that's in stock. The rest are either pre-order or sold out. But if you want to jump on this train with Hiya Toys, Zartan's a good jumping point because they've done some good things with this figure, and we'll get into it. And they copied 96% of it from Classified. We'll talk about this some more coming up. Here it is. The package looks very much like the rest of the ones in the package do. Would have been nice to have the second one in the package, but it's still not that. It's semi-retro, not super retro, but I don't remember this small box here, or giant box. This is big, kind of in the way. Children under 3. Why are they going ages 3 and up now? I don't know. These are not going to be hanging on pegs at Walmart. You can't even buy these anywhere in the U.S. So, strange they did that. Strange. Odd. But, yeah, there's Zartan. Let's get him out of the package. Alright, here is Zartan right out of the package. And I think he looks pretty good. It's a decent-looking figure. It's almost a direct knockoff, copycat of what they did in the Classified line. Yeah, it does look a lot like the Classified line. And with that, they've done a few things different, of course, but for the most part, we'll do that comparison here in a bit. And mine is a custom Classified one, so the comparisons will be still interesting and fun. But his face looks a little puffy. He probably ate some peanuts or something, and he's allergic to them. Well, that's his alternate face. I think that out of all the figures, this does a good job of having an alternate face. You can remove the cowl, and then underneath, of course, is his standard face. And so this faceplate that goes over it is almost seamless. It works great. Looking at the back here, there is the backpack. There is some detail on the inside of that backpack. And yeah, that looks like kind of fun. Fun stuff right there. Wondering what this little handle would do, but then you could put this into the backpack. Let's see if you just force that bad boy in there. Just lay it in there. Put the backpack back on. But this backpack does not hold very well. So it's a tough fit. Tough fit. But I'll have to mess with it just a bit. I'm going to put a little piece of tape on mine just to hold it together. Peace of mind for me. I don't want to fall apart as I'm doing the review. Or while it's on the shelf. So there's that. The cowl goes back on. Looks great. He does have a separate handkerchief like we saw with the Classified one. His face sculpt looks really good. And that what is this? Is it like face paint or tattoos on his eyes? I mean, I never really knew that as a kid what it was supposed to be. I do like the removable cowl though. I think that looks good. This little rubbery shoulder pads right here. There's multiple paint apps on his arm. To look like maybe he's got partial tan there. Wherever the sun would tan him, the shoulder pads covered it. I mean, that's kind of interesting. You do have, I guess we'll go through our articulation here in a bit, but they're all the same articulation. Nice gun that we have going on right here. Works pretty cool. There's more stuff we can do with that too. We'll get into the rest of the accessories here in a bit, like the stand. But let's see what else going on here. We've got separate the thigh pads. Now, I think you want to turn the thigh pads a little bit. Now, thigh pads are a bane of a vintage collector's collecting to get those thigh pads. And they're on straps. There's the thigh pads. That looks good. We'll be doing comparisons to different versions of this guy. He's got his shin guards on there and his separate knife and sheath. So looking okay, looking pretty good. Includes the stand, like always, and the stand connects to other stands to make a nice little display. Not something I do or use or display, but pretty good looking overall. Okay, let's go into the rest of the accessories next. There's a little peg on the side of his backpack, so you could put his gun there if you choose. That's something, if you want to do, you just plug it in right there into that little trigger area. Now, he does have two sets of hands. One set of hands is a set of trigger hands, which you don't need both of them to be trigger hands. So it's a choose to be a righty or a lefty. You can get that finger in that hole if you really want to. If you try real hard, that finger will go in that hole just right. Yeah, oh yeah, there it is. There it is. And so he's got his... And that's a lot of detail, and the flexible hands there, they are on ball joints. And the rest is, it's an open hand fist, so that you can hold something or you can punch something, which I'm A-okay with. I mean, you know, if all they included was an open hand fist, I'd be fine. How does he stand without his stand? These stand okay. It's an okay stand. That is stand. When I picked him up, his stand fell off him. So the stands are heavy. For as stands go, but yeah, there he is. Now let's have to talk. The next thing I want to do is show his knife. Now it's on a separate waist piece, dual waist piece. You can see it moving. The waist piece is moving. It's not a waist. And then you have the knife, which can be wielded with the other hand. Funny too that they shipped it with the knife already in the sheath. It wasn't in a separate spot, which is nice. Nice. And there's his knife. He can hold it with the other hand. And that's it for accessories. Well, if you don't count, let's see here, both of these other hands, and then the connector pieces to connect. And yeah, that's it for accessories. Head is on the ball joint, up, down, all around. Shoulder goes all the way out, and it goes a little past the 90. I don't want to flex it. You can go 360. I don't want to mess that up. Bicep swivel. Only to the 90 right there, and then you got ball jointed hands. And I will say the ball jointed hands are nice, but they do pop off real easy. So I'd rather pop off real easy than break it to pop off. So you do have the torso ball joint, and you have the ball joint at the waist. And turning the waist, there we go. You can get all kinds of crazy range. I mean, people are going to hate me for this. I like that articulation better than an O-ring. I like O-ring construction as in for matching my vintage collecting, but I think this is superior to holding a stance and looking more natural. You got thigh swivel out to here, 90-90, less than 90, and then double jointed knee with only that much range, so you can't do the Optimus Prime jump. And then foot, I have barely moved these feet. They just kind of swivel back and forth. Up and down is almost non-existent, to give it a little more strength, I guess, the way they did that. Or they're so tight, and I don't want to change that, but, you know, give them some level of action pose without counting on the stand. Okay, we're going to count on the stand then. But there's a reason they include a stand, so you can give him a little bit more of an action pose without him falling. There he goes. I'm going to try to use camera tricks here, but there he is compared to the Classified. Now, I will say this about the Classified. I painted the legs, the cowl. This is custom. I did a custom job on him because Hasbro said I was not allowed to have the SDCC. In fact, Dave from the UK sent me one because UK version of Pulse had them up for months. And I didn't know that. I could have got it through the UK Pulse, I guess. Anyhow, looking at this, that's how they look side by side. But I want to point out, it's almost an exact copy. So maybe I should move the thigh pads up to match how they fit on that one there. He doesn't come with a briefcase. Well, that's Destro's briefcase anyway. He doesn't come with a briefcase. Neither one of them do. The gun is very, very similar to that. And, I mean, it's just modeled after Zartan's gun. He does have I mean, everything is so similar to this, down to how they did the knife. But there's only one loop. There's two loops there, or two belts connected to that one. But I mean, it's so similar how they've done it. The backpack looks very like almost precisely exactly the same thing with a handle peg on the side. It is so copy, and so the colors would be closer had I not done my custom paint job on mine. But yeah, there's that. Let's compare them to vintage. Here's compared to the vintage right here, and this one is Fun School. It's a lot of fun with Fun School. Fun School does not have the clear thigh pads, but that's how it looks in comparison. And man, this sucker is tough to get complete. And if his rubber band goes, I mean, replacing the rubber band in a Zartan is next to impossible without doing some damage to the figure. But anyhow, there it goes. That's just how it is. He has a color change effect. He does not. And I don't think this guy here has a color change effect either. But, you know, what do you guys think? Anyway, that's the comparison and how it looks, and also clickbait. So I want to say I do wish I was in on this line from day one. I passed on some. There's like Firefly and a couple of others that I missed out on because I felt like it was going to be too stylized, but I think they found a nice mix. Even though some of these are almost exact knockoffs of what Classified was doing, I still think they look really good. I mean, the Baroness looks really amazing. Cobra Commander looks fantastic. It's like nice mix. If I can get it in there. All these good guys look pretty good over here. So I mean, it's all the Joes look good. I think they've done a great job with this line. And yes, it's pricey. Yes, it's Hiya pricey. But there's like 3 or 4 a year, it feels like. And it's one of those slow burn toy lines that's fun to put together. Bit of accomplishment to get them all is the way it feels. Alright, so there's my review of the Hiya Toys Zartan. What do I think of this figure? I think that it is almost a direct copy, and then, you know, it's a 0.5 down. You know, 2 ups and 0.5 down. It's like almost half the size of the Classified one, and it's almost exactly the same. I mean, they did so many things that were exactly the same. It's impressive, but yet, in a way, a little disappointing, but they did change stuff. It's not the exact same wrinkles on the legs, pants, and stuff, and you know the where the muscle striation is different. So I mean, there are differences in it. Am I happy with it? I'm glad they gave me a Zartan. Would I have rather had a more classic Zartan? Yes, but this does walk that line that it's close enough for me, and it works. So let me know what you guys think about this. I did get this at Gundamit.com. It's $30. Yeah, the price it is up there. It's the price is Hiya. Well, but anyway, $31 still. It's the price to pay because it's the only place that I know you can get it. Let me know what you think about in the comments below. Remember, TH and support your reviewer if you go to Gundamit or Show Z Store and pick some of this stuff up. Let me know what you think. Teddy Hanger out.